Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I want to show you my DIY positioning board that I made for my laser engraver with very cheap supplies and tools. Here's how I made it. So first of all, you will need a way to attach the layout board to your setup. For this, I have my setup consists of a 2 cm thick multi-layer fiberboard in which I have screwed these threaded inserts right here. That way I can attach a different length of threaded rods, and this way I can put all sorts of boards on top to change the different layouts that I need for either, mass production of the same item or for universal use like the layout board. My board has two hole screened, one in the bottom left and one in the top right corner. And this is just because of precision reasons. You could drill 4 holes, but it's much harder to get the dimensions exactly right so that it slides on top. Because I don't have a large workshop with a drill press and a nice setup, I can't really do it that precisely. So that's why I'm using only 2 holes. That's why you kinda have to look out. If you buy your board, you should make sure that it is somewhat flat. It's not completely bowed, because that can cause problems. If it's not screwed down on all the 4 corners, it can lift on 1 or 2 and then cause problems. As you can see, I can just slide my board down on the pegs and then secure it with these screws. For this thick board, it's not really necessary to screw it down, but for the smaller ones, if you choose to use smaller ones for different stances, like I already showed in an earlier video, then you will need some screws to fix it down so it doesn't bend. Now, here on the inside, it is just a simple grid. I made in the XCS software from Xtool, so it has 5 mm spacing. Essentially, you just start off with a line, then copy it to the right, then make a line from left to right and copy it down, and so you have the grid. And in this grid I made some holes. I let the laser itself burn everything on this. This is very important, so that everything you do right here is accurate to your particular laser. So the laser has to make all the holes yourself. You can't just drill it with a drill press. That's why they look so bad, because I made them before I got my air assist set up, because it just didn't arrive in time. And that's why the holes aren't as deep as I would have liked. I didn't got deeper than about 5.5 millimeters, but it still worked out. Then I got these 6 mm dowel pins. If you get them in different sizes, it's okay. Just adjust the size of your holes. Do one test engraving, essentially, like you could see on the top left corner here. So you get the hole dimensions exactly right, so you have a nice friction fit. You should need to hammer them in so that they stay nice and secure, and when you push something against them, they don't rock back and forth, especially when the hole isn't too deep. And then once you burned your holes in, the spacing is about 2 centimeters, and then on each end you want to make a larger spacing, and this is to accommodate square and round pieces. So as you can see, I have this slate coaster, and what I can do, I can just push it up, push it to the left, and it's positioned. What this now is, it is because the square coasters are often not square. This one is actually pretty nice. A lot of them are crooked. What this does, it makes sure that the slate coaster is always square to the top edge. So if you want to engrave a lot of them, what you would do, you would actually, with this motif on it, flip it around so that whatever you're engraving is square to the bottom side of the slate coaster. This is what I always did to deal with crooked pieces, because you have to choose a side to make it square to, and usually when you look at it, it's best to do it make it square to the bottom side. And this one makes it super easy to engrave. Just the laser always stays in the same position. The laser is always, you just need to change the focus essentially for different heights, and the laser always stays in the same position, and you have a known reference point. Now, the larger spacing is important to accommodate round objects. So, as you can see, I have these round wooden pieces and I can slide it on top, and this will locate them. If you do these, they always have the same diameter, and it's super simple to just make a lot of them. The laser always stays in the same piece, they have the same height. You can just chuck one in, one after the other, and it's very quick to do. If you have different sized pieces, because you're dealing with a round object, the center point will always stay in the middle of these two posts. So even when you change your diameters, you can adjust them by just going back and forth in the middle, just on one axis, and you won't have to deal with the y-axis. You just have to deal with the x-axis, if I'm thinking correctly. Obviously, the spacing to the left, you will need to adjust to your own needs, whatever you're doing, because I don't do any larger round objects than this. I don't need to make the spacing much bigger. But if you do a lot of round objects, it can even make sense to, to make a one plate that is just for your round objects and one for your square objects, if that makes sense for you. Now for the board that I used, it's just a pine wood board. I would have liked a multi-layer board as well, like I did for the bottom surface, but unfortunately it wasn't available in the correct sizes. They were just way too large. So I had to go with this one, but because I made sure that it's flat, it's actually not too bad. And then your project is already done. It's very simple to do, but in my opinion, super effective. A known reference point is always essential for accurate production. That is pretty rather quickly. If you just have to completely readjust your setup every single time you do one slate coaster to the next, it will just take too long. And with this setup, smaller batches are very, very quick to accomplish, and you don't need to make a stencil tool for every single one of your little projects. Thank you for watching. That was already it for this video. If this helped you and you liked it, maybe consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. Then I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.